What is up guys, Andy Forestine Runner here, back with another video for you today, and today I am delighted to be talking about some of the types of workouts that I'm going to be doing over the next few weeks that are hopefully going to get me into great shape to smash that 10k PB, and also of course some workouts that you might be able to incorporate into some of your running plans. So without further ado, let's dive in. So for those of you who watched my video last week about what is coming next, you'll know that I announced that I have 3 10Ks coming up this summer. It's now 4. I've booked another one. So I've got a fun summer of running coming up ahead of me, not to mention the fact that there are going to be hopefully some other smaller local races that I will be dropping into along the way that I cannot wait to get my teeth into. So this summer is going to be focused purely on the speed. I'm excited to get my teeth into it, and of course with the speed has got to come some really specific workouts, completely the opposite end of the spectrum to what we've been doing in marathon training. We're going to be scaling that right back and working on some shorter, sharper things. So today's video, the purpose of this is to tell you a little bit about the types of workouts that I've got coming up in my plan, and maybe some examples of the repetitions that I'm going to be doing and the progressions that we might be looking at that are hopefully going to get me in that shape to finally break the sub 36 barrier. There will be a new 10k series coming this summer, kind of following on from the marathon series. However, I'm not going to be putting a time on myself. Obviously, I'm just going to be putting a label on there to say I would like to try and break my PB, which is currently 36:17. So with that in mind, and the thought of the training coming up, which is exciting me, and the summer weather and all of that good stuff, let's dive into talking about the specific workouts that we are going to be doing. Okay guys, so the first type of run that we are going to be doing, and I'm sorry it's not a workout, but I just have to give it a very quick honourable mention because it is as vitally important to the workouts that I'm about to talk about as anything else, and it is of course the easy running. If you follow me on Strava, you'll see I do a lot of zone 1 and zone 2 runs. These are sort of easy runs working in specific heart rate zones, and they just allow our body with minimal kind of stress to still work on that fitness. And I like to think of it as kind of active, it's more than active recovery, but I like to think of it as active recovery in between each of the sessions that we're going to be doing. It just allows us to go out there and just run at a very chilled and relaxed pace, and allows us to build that fitness, as I said, without putting the stress on the body, and hopefully flush out any lactate that we have hanging around from any sessions that we've done the day before or 2 days before, to allow us to go into the next session feeling as fresh as possible. So yes, there's going to be a lot of easy running. Okay guys, so the second type of running workout we're going to be doing a lot of during this training plan is of course intervals. Now intervals are something that you hear banded around a lot, and we use them in all of our training. The difference is that depending on the distance, depends on the duration and the time of intervals. I know I've talked about intervals before, and I do enjoy doing them. However, when it gets down to the 10k distance and the 5k, those intervals get shorter, they get sharper, and they get more painful. So this is going to be unlike the types of intervals that we've been doing during marathon training. These are certainly going to be more like 2 minutes on, 2 minutes off. Bearing in mind, in the marathon training, we were maybe in the beginning doing things like maybe 6 minutes on, or 8 minutes on, or 10 minutes on, getting our body working on that speed endurance. This is going to be working on pure speed. So 2 minutes on, 2 minutes off is the flavour of the week, this week and next week, and I think the week after for me in particular. Whether that will progress is down to Coach Doug, but at the moment I've got 10 by 2 minutes on, 2 minutes off, which kind of excites me. I know that by rep 5 or 6 it's going to hurt, it's going to be painful, and I'm going to wonder why I got excited by this 10k training. But I think coming off the back of longer distance training, for me, I'm excited to get down and dirty with the speed, get that pain and get those legs turning over a little bit quicker. I just want to feel that speed. So in terms of intervals, that's going to be something that is heavily featured during this training block. Okay guys, so the third type of running workout you are going to be seeing a lot of during this 10k training series on this channel is the kilometre repeats. Yes, kilometre repeats. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of kilometre repeats, but they have done me the world of good in the past, and actually those things I can pretty much vouch for. The fact that they got me my Severn Bridge half marathon PB last year of 1:20 on a course that was rather challenging. It certainly wasn't flat. Now, kilometre repeats I have found best done on a track. I have done them on our industrial estate locally here and just set the distance on my Garmin. I do not enjoy those whatsoever, but when I'm going around a track, I can kind of get in a zone, get in a focus and really enjoy it. The grass track up here by our local school was pretty good for that. And we had good fun summer last year doing a lot of those things, and they are going to be featured quite heavily again now. In terms of 10K training, you're looking at different ends of the spectrum here. I've just talked about the timed intervals. Now we're talking about distance, effectively distance intervals, but we've got the 2 minutes on, 2 minutes off, which are working on the very shorter, sharper end. And then we've got the kilometre repeats, which are slowly starting to touch a little bit on the speed endurance side of things. So we've got the two hopefully marrying together in perfect harmony. Well, I hope so anyway. So you're going to be certainly seeing a lot more of those during this training block. Okay guys, and the fourth type of running workout you're going to be seeing a lot on this channel as well is of course the 400 meter repeat, but the 400 meter repeat within a 2-minute window. I've tried to explain this on the channel before, and I think I confused a lot of people last year. I think people eventually got what I was trying to say because I have done these before last autumn. You can go back and look at some of the videos. You'll see that I did some 16 by 400s, 18 by 400s and 20 by 400s up in our local park in Linear Park. These were not done on a track. Now, the purpose of the 2-minute window is effectively not to let your heart rate get down to a low enough recovery zone so your heart rate stays elevated for the whole period of the time. So what do I mean for those of you who are confused? Basically, I mean you have to run 400 meters and in a certain time, and then whatever time you have left in that 2-minute window is your recovery time. So let's say I ran a 1:30 400 meter, I would then have 30 seconds rest before I had to go again. Last year I was averaging around about 121, 122-ish, 123 for the 400 meter repeats towards the end when I really got into my groove. But in the beginning, first couple of times I tried this workout, it was more around the 125 because I was just trying to fathom out, and then my body started getting used to it. Now this type of workout actually was quite challenging, not from a physical perspective, because the idea is not to go all out on these 400s, it's actually to go at 10k goal pace. So the first couple for me was certainly working out where my goal pace was and trying to run that in a 400 meter repeat and trying to switch off my brain from going, right, 400 meter repeat, you've got to blast it. It was like 400 meters at 10k pace. From there, I then got into the hang of it and got the gist, but honestly, it was pretty tough in the first few times, first few reps of each workout, and then I got into a groove, and then it just started to be a case of just ticking them off one by one. But I can assure you, it was no easy feat. Doing 20 of those was blooming hard, and I can safely say I do not look forward to doing any more of those. However, they are on the cards for this Saturday, so you'll be seeing a lot more of those as training goes on. Okay guys, and the fifth and final type of running workout you're going to be seeing on the channel over the next few weeks is of course the tempo run or the steady state run, whichever wording you wish to use. Now this is my favourite. I have saved the best till last. I really enjoy these types of runs for multiple reasons, but the main reason for me that I really enjoy it is because mentally it gives me such a boost. Mentally I know exactly where I am. This is where you get to test out depending on the distance, what you're training for, close to or race pace or faster than race pace, depending, as I said, on the distance and training you're doing. For me personally, I've got some awesome workouts coming up. They're hard, they're grueling, but for example, I might just have a 20-minute tempo run this week, which I do have in zone 4. But over the next couple of weeks, as things really ramp up, because we're obviously trying to ease back in to this training nicely and kindly from the marathon training. But as the weeks progress, we've got things like 3x2k and then 3x1k. That's going to be a beast of a workout. That's 9 kilometers worth of work at goal pace or nearly goal pace. And for me, that will be a real indicator as to where I'm at. I love these types of runs because I will either come off the back of it going, fantastic, I feel really good, I know roughly where my goal pace is. It was just like whizzing back to marathon training, doing that marathon pace work, understanding where your marathon pace is and knowing what you should be running on race day. This is again very similar sort of concept. It gives you that mental boost or that mental frustration that you can't quite hit what you're trying to hit, but that's fine because it allows you to regroup, gather and go again. And from my perspective, I just, as much as I love intervals and I get a real kick out of running for short, sharp bursts, I love to be able to string longer, harder efforts together. It makes my body feel good. I love to get into that comfortably uncomfortable rhythm and just get on a trail and go, click into gear and don't stop and see how I feel. So from that perspective, that is my favorite, of course, and that will be featured heavily. So there you have it, guys. Those are the 5 types of workouts that you are going to be seeing a lot of over the next few weeks, and in particular in the new training series. Now, there are going to be, of course, other workouts. This isn't exclusively what I'm going to be doing. There's going to be lots of other things going on, but I can assure you that there is going to be a lot of these things. And if you've got any questions about these types of workouts, I'd love to hear them in the comments below. And of course, if you've got any workouts that you swear by during your 10K training, I would love to hear what they are. Again, leave a comment below. So if you enjoyed this video, guys, please do give it a like, share it with your friends, and of course do consider subscribing to the channel for weekly running content, and I will see you next time. Until then.